Am 27. Juli gibt es in der Neuen Apotheke in Wedel ein Konzert des australischen Künstlers Andrew Keese, ein Doppelkonzert mit HEMSING. Wir haben Andrew ein paar Fragen nach Australien geschickt und er war so freundlich, uns per Video zu antworten. Hallo Andrew, du kommst aus Australien und startest deine Europatour in Wedel in der Neuen Apotheke. Wie ist das zustande gekommen?
So the show at Neuen Apotheke came about when I was offered a show at the Arbeitsweise in Estonia. Last year I undertook an artist's residency at the Arbeitsweise, and there I composed an album of new works. And those are the works that I'll be performing on this tour. After I secured the show at the Arbeitsweise, I felt it would be worthwhile coming from Australia to Europe to do additional shows. And so having lived in Germany for a short period of time, I wanted to do a show not where I had been located, which was Berlin, but somewhere near Hamburg. And I did some research to find musicians in the area, and I came across a wonderful musician called Lasse Hemsing. He performs under the name HEMSING. Beautiful piano music, very much similar to what I do, something I liked very much. So I reached out to Lasse, and over time he told me about this venue in Wedel, and I contacted the venue and thankfully was offered a show. So that is how this show came about.
Wie hast du als Musiker begonnen und wer hat dich auf deinem musikalischen Weg am meisten beeinflusst?
So when I began in music, I was very interested in being a singer, a songwriter, in the pop rock genre. And so my influences initially were people like Elvis Costello, Nick Cave, Morrissey, very much that kind of intellectual pop rock music, lyric heavy. Over time, I kind of lost interest in that world and decided that I wanted to focus more on my instrumental music because I was classically trained on piano when I was very young. And so I returned to piano, and from there my influences shifted somewhat to people like Brian Eno, Nils Frahm, Pauline Oliveros, Hani Arani, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, people who I think combine elements of what we call rock music with electronic music, but also have a kind of a classical influence. So that's kind of my journey from singer-songwriter in the pop rock genre to a composer, I guess, yeah, in the instrumental music genre, with a tendency towards the ambient and the neoclassical and post-rock streams of that genre.
Wie kann man sich bei dir den Prozess des Komponierens vorstellen? Ist das mehr intuitiv und improvisiert oder mehr strukturiert und geplant?
So my process is very intuitive. There isn't a lot of planning. I don't sit down and write music. I don't notate. I just play. And from playing comes then a structure. So I think having started in rock music, a lot of what I do comes emotionally rather than mentally first. The intellectual side of it happens after the piece has started to form. So I write very much from a feeling, from an idea, from just whatever happens. And from there, I keep certain things and I focus on certain things that I think are going to work, and those become compositions. So the initial process is very intuitive, but when it comes to actually then producing, then it becomes very structured and planned. So I begin sort of from the heart and then end in the head.
Und was werden wir auf deinem Konzert in Wedel hören können?
So at the show, you'll hear a very rich, full, large sound being produced by only two people. So there'll be myself on acoustic piano, my accompanist Julian Lyngcoln on synthesizer, and we will then have that sound augmented, boosted by programmed backing tracks on a laptop. So what you can expect really is a kind of a crossover between the electronic and the acoustic worlds. And the goal is for you to kind of be taken on a journey into the music, so that you can experience it without worrying about how it's being produced. The goal is to have you, go on a kind of a trip through the album. We'll be performing the new album that I've written, Illuminator, in full, and possibly one or two older tracks if we have time. But it will be a very interesting evening of music.
Vielen Dank, Andrew, und gute Reise.
Thank you so much for having me on Wedel TV.